It was around 2014 when I was still a student. I was opportune to grow up in a family where my needs were met, and I discovered that there were many orphanages in my country and around my neighborhood which had many children who could not have their needs met as myself. So occasionally I decided to visit the orphanages with a couple of friends. And on one of our visits to one of the orphanages where the Help Out Vision was laid in my heart, that is Miss Paquin Orphanage in the northwest region of Cameroon, I went there to share food, to share love and other items with my friends. And that was just what we went there to do, and just have fun with the orphans and other vulnerable children. But while there, I noticed a little boy pass by, and he was holding a little walking stick because he had a serious bone fracture on the leg. And I just asked, why was he holding that stick and why was his leg like that? And I noticed that the orphanage had limited resources to send this child for surgery. And while we shared love that they decided to return home, I also asked around what are some of the main needs of the children. I noticed that a lot of well wishers, a lot of people give food items and clothing like my friends and I did. But I noticed the children had limited means to access tertiary education because they could access primary education, secondary education, but accessing tertiary education was a little difficult for them because of limited resources. And while leaving the orphanage that day, I remember this young girl, she just called my name. And when I turned and looked at her, she was having a broad smile on her face. And as I went back home, her smile kept coming to my heart. And I just knew there is something more I can do for orphans, vulnerable children, and youth. And so I thought about this project, connecting orphans from rise to light. It's very good to give them food, but what about doing something that can give them a means, help them develop skills that they themselves can provide for their own pertinent needs? And that's how Help Out started. I'm Giga Vanessa Achu, and with a couple of friends founded the Help Out initiative. Help Out is a non-profit organization that works to help orphans, vulnerable children and youth to live up to their full life potential by providing them a means to access quality education and also providing them a means to access quality health care. And we've been working for about 10 years now, first like a common initiative group before evolving to a non-profit organization. And basically, our work is focused on access to quality healthcare and quality education for orphans, vulnerable children, and youth. Through these platforms, we have been able to sponsor at least 50 orphans, vulnerable children, and youth through education. That's from the first year entered into the university up to the graduate level, and about 50 of these youths have had their master's degree over these years from the Help Out initiative, and most of them now are in the society and have properly integrated into society, have left the orphanages or homes where they were being taken care of, and are now working, contributing to societal development and also helping other orphans and vulnerable children. We also run a psychosocial scheme where we talk to orphans and vulnerable children, empower them, and just break the mentality that they cannot be normal people in society. So we do a lot of counseling with them and capacity building talks, and also provide access to quality healthcare for those who need quality healthcare. In line with access to quality education, we also run a scheme where we reach out to orphans, vulnerable children and youth with capacity building modules geared towards them, just to transform their mindset on proper societal integration despite their difficult situations. And also through this scheme, we have been able to reach out to at least 160 orphans and vulnerable children in our communities. And also through our access to healthcare, we have been able to provide quality healthcare for these same orphans and vulnerable children. So we are at a new phase of Help Out, and we are calling on well-wishers, volunteers, and those who wish to contribute even their resources to join us as we thrive to help the vulnerable children, orphans, and youths to access quality healthcare, access quality education, so they too can live up to their full life potentials, provide for their own needs, as well as contribute to societal development. Thank you.